Well, actually...
And I'm watching the rise, and I wouldn't say I'm shocked cause I'm hardly surprised. This one's for the ride, this one's for who knew I'd make it, just needed some time. This one's for my wife, could've left 1,000 times just about my side. This one's for the grind, I knew it would happen, just had the strength in my mind.
It's the Travel OG, and welcome to the Black Manosphere Conclave 5.0!
We got started in 2021 in Atlanta, united in the pursuit of excellence in all things. It's been one hell of a ride.
Can I tell you what's on my mind? Cause I've been thinking about it for quite some time. Hey, can you give me a moment to declare my love? Can I tell you what's on my mind?
We're now focusing more on opportunities for men, in particular passport bros. Guys who go abroad, they want to have a different lifestyle, they want to have a different achievement abroad. Oh yeah, there's without a doubt the narrative has changed for us greatly.
I just finished speaking and having a chance to tell individuals about how to live the American dream outside of America. And I was here to help so many men when it comes to understanding what they need to do in order to relocate.
With the political climate, things that are happening worldwide, guess what? Nobody's coming to save us. So it is indicative that we all bound together, tighten up like a fist, and strike a mighty blow against everything that's fighting to stop us, man.
It's nothing but good, positive people, good, positive energy with one goal in mind, and that is to make money, get the hell out the Matrix, and enjoy your life. You dig? So shout out to all of y'all. Theme music!
Yo, what's going on, y'all? This is your man, Marcus A. Brown, and I'm here to tell y'all that I just got done with my first consultation with the brother Andre of Love Crossing Borders. I just wanted to give him his praises. I need y'all to do two things if you haven't already. If you haven't, subscribe to his YouTube channel, Love Crossing Borders. Also, if you are going to Colombia, if you're thinking of going anywhere, traveling internationally, please consider booking a consultation with the OG Andre of Love Crossing Borders. You will not be disappointed. And y'all, get in tune with him if you haven't already. Tell him MAB sent you. Peace.
Where are all the black men? And I'm not talking about the scammers, the drug dealers, the robbers, and the crooks.
Well, actually...
We're here with Andre and Andre's Love Crossing Borders. They are here with Andre and Andre's Love Crossing Borders. In 2017, 18, a movement started among men, especially black men, called the Passport Bro Movement, where men started to vacate and relocate to other countries, looking for better lifestyles, better love, better laws. And for most of us, we've successfully Blue Book gentlemen, the expats, the ex-militaries, the digital nomads. For the most part, we've been successful in our endeavors. We've been so successful in spite of the passport pookies behaviors and the sexpats behavior. The Passport Bro movement has been so successful that the ladies said, hey, if men could do it, we can do it too. Then came the rise of the passport sis. Black women, white women, all over social media have said, well, we can be passport sisters. And even though statistically they have always traveled more than we have, used their passports more than we do, somehow, some way, they have not been able to find the same level of success when it comes to lifestyle, love, And based off of this episode, the laws. So it is with a young lady named Marisol Riveras. And Miss Riveras was taking a trip down to Panama on a private jet with some total strangers and one guy who she hadn't met. And the guy that she did fly down there with just so happened to win a contest the year before. In that contest, he won a private jet that he acquired from the global YouTuber, Mr. Beats. Shout out to Mr. Beats. So he used that private jet, and he's been making money with that private jet. No issues. The brother is a pilot. Life has been going great for him until that trip to Panama. We're going to see today what happened to the total strangers on that flight. Not to Panama, but to Paraguay, sorry. To Paraguay, South America. We're going to find out what happened to the pilot, the brother, on that trip to Paraguay and the other pilots. And we're going to find out what happened to Marisol and why is it when she was on that flight in that private plane, there were over 577 pounds of marijuana. Street value, $3.5 to $3.7 million. We're going to take a look at that today, as well as other Passport Sister travesties. So guys, if you got something to drink, you might want to grab it. This is going to be a big bowl of popcorn night here on Love Crossing Borders. Shout out to all you guys that are here. Oh man, this is going to be a doozy, guys. This is going to be one for the record books. We're not just going to look at one Passport Sister travesty. We're going to look at several, but this main one that we're looking at that's going on in Paraguay right now, she was arrested last month. I'll say this again. This was right around late May, early June, in which the young lady was arrested. I want to hear what you guys' hypothesis is. Is she guilty? Is she not guilty? She's looking at quite a bit of time. She's looking at 10 to 12 years. So it's one of those scenarios, guys. Sit back. It's like watching an Obi-Land video. Tonight, we're going to sit back and we're going to listen in to what the hell is going on. We're going to hear from her attorney in Paraguay. We're going to hear about the living conditions while she's in jail and why the other strangers, the other guys that are in jail, who she didn't even know, she just got on the airplane with. We're going to see what happened to the brother that was the pilot that owned the plane that he got from Mr. Beats. We're going to hear from the other pilot, the white guy who was the co-pilot. What happened to him? Then we're going to hear some of the craziest arrest stories of all time when it comes to the Passport Sisters over the last 6 months to a year. So shout out to all you guys. Let's get ready with the shout outs. We won't be doing too many shout outs today because we want to get directly to this video. Because I'm telling you guys, this one is crazy. This one is crazy. This is rare when I feel sorry for the Passport Sister. This one, yeah, I kind of feel sorry for her. And you guys will see why I say that. Let's get ready with the shout outs. First shout out we got from our brother 31. Them Detroit boys here early. Shout out to you, brother.
You better back the fuck up out my face, goddammit. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. Don't play with me.
Don't play with that, man. He from Detroit, Michigan. You know how we get in public. Salute and good vibes to all here in the traveling community supporting Love Crossing Borders and Dre. Yes, sir. Glad to see that you brothers are here with that Colombia flag representing. Yes, sir. Let's go to the super chats real quick because we got our brother Will in the building. Glad to see that you're here, Will. Always supporting. Remember, guys, today, thank you guys for supporting by way of He said, good evening, Andre and Andre. Chat family, please support the channel by way of Cash App. Crypto, up top right here. He said, PayPal, Super Chats, and the Patreon. I'm going to be dropping the link to the Patreon in a second. All the proceeds that go to the Cash App, guys, we are still going to be buying food this Thursday. Tomorrow's Thursday. This Thursday, we already took the monies that you guys sent us before, and we bought a bunch of food for Venezuela, and we dropped it off at the Marriott. That's where down here in Cali, where you could drop off food. We're going to take more food because Andre's going to go back to the grocery store again and get a bunch more food. So whatever you guys donate on Cash App, $2, $5, $25, that will be going not to us, but it'll be going towards those who survived the 2 earthquakes in Venezuela. Our prayers go out to them and their loved ones that they're still searching for. Shout out to you, brother. He said, oh, this is going to be a good one. Oh, yes, it will. Yes, it will, Will. Yes, it will. He says, what was she thinking? Bruh, she wasn't. And you're going to realize when you watch this, she wasn't thinking. She wasn't thinking. And when you watch this video all the way through, guys, you're going to see several incidences where the passport sisters just weren't thinking. You got one incident we're going to look at where the sister was like, story time. They asked me to go to London and pick up a package. And I wanted to go to London anyway. It was a free flight. I'm like, wait a minute. So you went to London just to pick up a package? You don't know what the package is, but you got a free ticket to London, and you was dumb enough to go. Dude, I'm talking about when you hit the nail on the head. Each moment, each story that you're going to see tonight, like I said, the main story is the sister in Paraguay, but I added other stories to it to let you guys know that she is not the only one over the last year doing some stupid, idiotic stuff under the umbrella of the passport system. He said, keep eye on the prize. Yes, sir. And shout out to our brother Ronan Travers. Good morning to all you guys that are out there in Southeast Asia. Salute, Andre. Salute to you as well, brother. Salute, Love Crossing Borders. My brother Dre. Good morning from the Philippines. Drinking my cafe. I had to pull my last one out. Guys. For this episode. I've been working on this episode and editing this episode for 2 weeks, guys. So for 2 weeks, I've been sitting on this one. So I'm excited. So this is a big popcorn night. He said, relaxing this morning and listening in the show. Support Black Male Media. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. Really do. Let's continue on. We got my brother David Dice, numero dos. Number 2, shout out to you, brother. Being in the building. Salute family. Andre and Andre, salute to you. Let me scroll down a little further. Shout out to David Dice of the Dice family and LJV, Southern Vision. Glad to see that you're here as well. Let me scroll down a little further because I cannot miss out on my brother Ahmad Milner. Shout out to you. Salute to you, Ahmad. Glad to see that you're here too, sir. Let me scroll down a little further. We got 35 in the building. Click that like button. I know Jay Philomene has already clicked the like button, so you guys click that like button as well. Salute to you, Dre. To Unc Dre, that is. Blicky, you're right on cue, bruh. Blicky, if you came for any episode, you are here for the one that you gonna need to see. I'm telling you now, bro. This one is crazy. I came across this one from a brother that was pleading on behalf of the young lady Marisol. He's a content creator. And I'm just looking up some content, for our show. And all of a sudden, the brother popped up. He said, listen, I need y'all help. And so I'm listening to the brother. He started telling a story about a sister that just got arrested in late May, early June in Paraguay. Anybody that knows what Paraguay is, you talk about South America. You talk about down there between Brazil, Uruguay. Paraguay is right there by Bolivia and Argentina. So we're talking about South America. A lot of people have been going down there lately. But I'm telling you, man, this one is crazy. This one is crazy. Shout out to Jamal being in the building. He said, Paraguay, don't play those ninja games. I can imagine. I was looking at the female prisons in Paraguay. I was looking at the male, bruh. One thing I noticed about Paraguay, they don't believe in feeding you while you in jail. That's one thing about Paraguay. They are not gonna feed you. You got 10 years, you better come out. They got people digging through the trash. I'm talking about they drop the trash off that from restaurants and put them in the prisons. Bruh, I'm not lying. I'm talking about like your trash that you threw out, your trash bags, and end up in many of the prisons. In many of the prisoners, that's how they get their food. They dig through your trash. Paraguay ain't got those international human rights that you would think, bruh. It's crazy. It's crazy, bruh. Shout out to Brother Nick being in the building. Yes, sir. Shout out to you being in the building, as well as my brother Jamon representing. Yes, sir. Andrew Craig Jr., this is going to be a crazy one, Greg. Mr. Craig Jr., this is going to be a crazy one. He said, I've seen a weird trend going on. Passport sisters getting caught up. You're going to see a whole lot tonight. This is not just about one tonight. I'm doing a montage, if you will, of passport sisters getting arrested over the last year. I mean, they stay in jail. They stay in jail, bro. They ain't never been in jail in the States. Soon as they cross the border, they in jail. You know who don't be staying in jail like that? Y'all ready? White dudes? Nope, y'all stay in jail in another country. My white brothers, my white passport bros, my white expats. I don't know what it is about jail. Y'all don't like jail when y'all in Canada. Y'all dang sure don't like jail when y'all in the States or in the UK. But I don't know what it is about going to other countries. Y'all look for the nearest jail cell to get into. I don't know what it is about jail, but white boys, y'all gonna have to shut that one down, man. You didn't leave that country. You didn't leave your home country just to keep going to jail over and over and over and over again. You know who don't stay in jail? The passport sisters? Nope. Always getting locked up for something. The black ones get locked up. The Africans get locked up. The African Americans get locked up. The Asian ones get locked up. You ain't never see that many Asian people get locked up. Asian women stay in jail when they go to another country. I don't know what it is. But you know who do not go to jail? You know who don't stay in trouble? Every blue moon getting an issue. Might get a ticket for not wearing a helmet. But shout out to the brothers. Shout out to the black men. Black men, I don't think we learned our lesson in our home countries, because when we go to other countries, you do not see brothers behind bars that often. Does it happen? Yes. Does it happen as much as with the passport sisters or our white brothers? Hell no. Women and white men stay in jail in somebody else's country. Brothers be like, man, listen, I learned my lesson from my home country. I ain't going to jail. That's one thing you can say. You can drop brothers in any of these countries. You can say this: we get into a lot of stuff, but we don't go to jail. You ain't no record of passport bros come to Colombia. They're constantly getting locked up doing crimes. Nah. Now ask the white brothers that. Y'all stay in jail. They either kick y'all out the country all the time, or they lock y'all up doing time. There's so many white boys in Colombian jails. Y'all stay in somebody's jail. And so it is with the passport sisters. I don't know what it is about you ladies of all races that like to go to jail. As soon as y'all get your passports, y'all getting locked up. Shout out to T-Mac. Salute to you, brother, in the building. Glad to see that you're here with Chris Jeezy representing as well. We got 44 in the building. We got a great show tonight, guys. That's why we got our brother, the Crypto Dragon Emperor, is in the building. He say, excellent evening, Andre. And all my brothers, salute to you all. He said, hit that like button on your way in. Yes, sir. Make sure you guys hit that like button. We appreciate you if you do that for us. Yes, sir. Let me scroll down, make sure I got everybody. Thus far, I've been doing pretty good. We got Kofa in the building. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We must have done something right tonight. And once again, guys, anybody that's a content creator, if you want a copy of this video clips that I have tonight, just shoot me an email, aspence2011@gmail, and I'll send you the copy of it. I won't be using it again anyway. I'll say this. I will not be using it again anyway. So you guys are interested in using it for your channel. This story, like I said, just happened over the last month and a week. You guys can use it. So just shoot me an email. Shoot me an email. Yes, sir. Let me scroll down a little further. Looks like I got everybody. Oh, brother, poor man in the building. Detroit dudes at it again.
You better back the fuck up out my face, goddammit. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. Don't play with me.
I saw that. I didn't even open it yet. I'm going to open it after the show. I saw that. Good looking out. Poor man 313. 8. Yeah, but I saw that. Shout out to Mr. 007 in the building. What's up, Dre? What up, though, brother? What up, though? He said, and the chat, at that rate, he said, I'll die escaping. Bruh, seriously. The way they set her up, man, the way they set her up in Paraguay, you like, dang, girl, what was you thinking? This is definitely one of those you're going to be shaking your head the whole time. Like, what are these women thinking, man? Shout out to my brother Cortez in the building. Representing. What up, though, brother? What up, though? This is 007. He said, black men stay out of jail because of how the laws are unjustly imposed on us in America. That is so true. We do not get locked up in other countries, bro. We do not play that. You got a few. Usually when you see somebody get locked up, it's our African brothers. They might lock them up. But you ain't going to see too many headlines with an African-American male getting locked up. We don't play like that in other countries. You know what this shows me? I'm going to be honest. And I thought about this a few moments ago. I'm going to change the music for a split second. You know what this shows me? And this is not a racial attack on white men. And this is not a biased attack on women. This just shows me when we leave and go to other countries and the playing field is even when it comes to laws. I'll say this again. When the playing field is even and white males are not in control of the judicial system. You ever notice now who gets locked up and who's the one that end up in jail for real? This goes to show me when you put white men, all women, and black men on an even playing field, it ain't the brothers that get locked up. So it's not a coincidence that back in the States, when the playing field is not even, injustice is not blind, it's not a coincidence that is more brown and black brothers incarcerated, and yet white males do 70% of the crimes in the United States. You can look that one up. So black men get convicted, brown men get convicted more, even though we don't do more crimes. And so when everybody leaves the United States where the playing field is not even, it's amazing how we ain't the ones getting locked up. I hope some of y'all caught that. I caught it. I said, wait a minute. The playing field is even because when we're in Asian countries, those are Asian judicial systems. When we're in Latin countries, those are Latin judicial systems. When we're in Europe, those are European, not white American judicial systems. So now we're in on an even playing field. You got a passport, I got a passport. You walk the streets of that country, I walk the streets of that country. You somehow always getting locked up. But I ain't never get locked up. But then if I go back home to the States, where the playing field has been uneven for over 400 years, somehow I'm the culprit. I'm the bad guy. I'm the man with the black hat on. Yet you get arrested statistically way more than I do. I hope y'all caught that, man. I hope y'all caught that in real life. When you make the playing field even, it ain't the brothers getting locked up. It ain't the brothers getting locked up. I just wanted to put that out there. We ain't dumb. We ain't blind. We see, yeah, now that the playing field is even. Dre, right. I never thought about that. Dre, you know something? You right, bruh. I never thought about that. When we out there, we don't get locked up. But the women and the white brothers always getting locked up in somebody's country. The African brothers, yeah, they stay locked up. The African sisters, they stay locked. But us brothers, you're right, bro. We don't be going to jail like that. Even the Pookies. You notice even Pookie, as rambunctious, as crazy, as problematic, as wild, as irresponsible as the passport Pookies are. The one thing we can say about the passport Pookies that they have in common with us, the brothers that got some sense in their head when we travel, even the passport Pookies, them brothers don't get locked up. When the last time you saw a passport Pookie being so wild, he got locked up? He doing 5 years in DR. Very rare. He done jumped on top of somebody's, he done messed up somebody's nightclub and they arrested him. Next to never. He done went down to 6th Avenue in Thailand and he done got into a fight. I ain't heard of it. You do not see brothers, even the wildest brothers from the States, get locked up like our white brothers and like women do. So it's obvious. The truth is, women and white men and white women in the West are protected by the judicial system that do not protect brown and black men. So if y'all don't think that we notice that, white people, my white brothers and sisters, females, ladies, if y'all don't think we don't notice that when we travel, if y'all don't think that we notice that y'all the ones getting locked up, we do. And we also notice we aren't the ones getting locked up. Shout out to black men. Shout out to black men. Shout out to all 47 of you guys in the building as well. Appreciate you guys for listening to my little short rant. Let's get back to the shout outs real quick. Let's get back to the shout outs. Make sure I got the right music going. There we go. All right. Let's go here. My brother Chalupe says this. He said, Paraguay went to war against Argentina, Chile, and Uruguay. He said, I think Bolivia ganged up on them too in the late 1800s. He said, all at the same time. Goodness gracious, that's wild. Thank you for that history, bro. I love some good history. Shout out to my brother Bruce in the building. He said, hey, say hey to everyone. Yes, sir. You say brothers are usually the victims of the crimes abroad. That's so true. I mean, B-Ball says this. He say, Andre, that was so cool that you helped to support the other brother content creators. Always. I've got a couple of interviews coming up with some fellow content creators that you guys definitely know about. Giving back to others. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to you guys. And we got my brother D. Kirk in the building. Shout out to you, brother. Glad to see that you're here along with our brother Leo representing. Dante say, preach, bruh. Preach. Tell them, Dre. Let them know. We notice. Let them know. Yes, sir. We notice, bruh. Mr. 007 said, he said it shows who the real criminal demographics really is outside the States. Yeah, a lot of dudes didn't notice that. But, you know, after me doing so much research over these years, I'm starting to notice a pattern. And the pattern that I noticed was, okay, my white brothers from all over the world, they always getting locked up for something. Women always getting locked up for something. Okay, of all different races, not just sisters, all different races. But then I sat back and I said, I noticed something. According to how the UK and United States and Canada act, you would think it would be more brothers getting locked up. And I'm like, you rarely hear brothers outside of the few African brothers, but African Americans, we be going places, man, and nobody putting cuffs on us like that. Now that I said it, somebody gonna go out and do something stupid. Somebody somewhere gonna go out and do something stupid. Like you're gonna have a Floyd situation, right? But that's like one in how many years, how many millions of travels that we've had as black men. And so you got one Floyd Wallace. Okay, we'll take that L, no problem, if it's gonna be one. But then we look at, you take one Floyd Wallace, right? And you multiply it by all the white dudes that get locked up around the world when they travel. And all of the women that get locked up around the world. I'll take that one Floyd. I'll take that one Floyd Wallace. Okay, we'll take that L. If y'all willing to take all these L's that y'all been taking every time y'all be out there traveling as white dudes and as women, y'all stay in somebody's dungeon. Always in somebody's dungeon. Shh. And it's always on stupid stuff. Like we're going to see tonight. Shout out to my brother Ellis in the building. Appreciate you being here, brother. And Corporal ST and all you guys that are watching from Andre's channel. Shout out to you guys over there. He said, that's 100% true, Dre. He said, the statistics show, especially black women, they are the largest growing number of it. I did know that. Of incarceration, and that's in the States, of incarceration since the late 80s and early 90s. That I did know. From a guy that was incarcerated and then doing homework about it after I got out. I don't know what it is about the 2000s. Man, women have been getting locked up far more than men. Women don't ever want to brag on that one. I'm gonna say this again. They brag on we go to college the most, and we got the most houses, we making our money. Women never want to talk about that stat that they go to jail statistically far more than men. You're absolutely correct. Women stay locked up. Let's scroll down. You say, yeah, that British dude unalived the Colombian chick in Bogota just 7 to 10 days ago. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Let's scroll down. And my brother Turkish in the building. Shout out to you, brother. He said, thank you for keeping it real, my brother. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Tyrone. Appreciate you being here, brother. Really do. We got everybody. Oh, we got 63. Let me stop. Shout out to my man Rafi being in the building. What up, Dre, Andre in chat from Speedway, Indiana. Them Indiana boys are at it again. Shout out to the Midwest. I ain't got enough time to give everybody a shout out. Shout out to Jay, Jay Anderson, the great that is, the great. I don't have time to give everybody a shout out, but I will throughout the show because we got 66 in the building and I want us to get started with this one. I do not want to waste time with you guys listening to me. This brother right here is the brother that's given a request of all of us. This is how I found about this sister. She got locked up about a month and a half ago in Paraguay with over 507, if I'm not mistaken, 577 pounds of marijuana, 577. And that was the street equivalent to $3.5 to $3.7 million in marijuana on a private jet. That private jet was owned by a brother who won it a year ago. Once again, a private jet that was won by a brother who was a pilot. He was on one of Mr. Beats, the YouTuber's episodes. And on that episode, Mr. Beats had a competition among nothing but pilots. These were just pilots. And they had to keep their hand on, you know, that old game where whoever can stay up the longest and keep their hand on the prize, whoever takes their hand off, they lose. Well, he was the last one. He was the last one, and he won a beautiful multi-million-dollar private plane. And so he's been flying around the world making his money, blah, blah, blah. Somehow, some way, the drugs end up on that plane. Somehow, some way, Mirasol, the lady, 47 years old, she ended up on the plane. At 47 years old, you ain't got enough sense. She's on the plane with a bunch of strangers. One dude got tattoos all over his face. As soon as I saw that dude, I've been like, wait a minute, something going on. We fly to South America, and I got a dude with tats all over his face. I'm not. That's all right, y'all can go on this trip. Thank you for the free trip, though. So on this plane, you had 3 dudes that she had never met. You had the girl, Mirasol. You had the brother who was the pilot, and then you had a white dude. Shout out to him. He was a co-pilot. You're going to hear from him as well. And they flew down there in the plane that the dude won for Mr. Beast last year. So I wanted to lay that foundation down. And let's go back and listen to what this. So this brother is one of Marisol's closest friends. Just in case you wonder who he is, he's one of her close friends. He's pleading everyone to get as much information as possible to be able to get some help to her in Paraguay, because nobody knows what to do on her behalf. So let's get started.
All right, I need y'all help. My friend is in trouble, and I don't know what to do, but I do know what to do. But I'm sure y'all probably heard about this story of how my friend is in trouble. Her name is Marisol Rivas.
Captain Treasy won a multi-million-dollar jet in a Mr. Beast pilot challenge in 2025. He was working as a contracted co-pilot, and on May 30th, that job landed him in Asunción, Paraguay, aboard a Bombardier Challenger 604 with 3 American passengers and an Estonia pilot named.
So you had the brother who we just looked at, 3 strangers, you can't see the other guy, and then you got Marisol looking crazy right here. She was on that plane. Let's continue on.
Keith Seelatz. The next morning, one of the passengers returned to retrieve luggage left behind at the airport. Police ran a routine inspection. He resisted, told them the bag contained musical instruments. That was enough. Authorities.
Okay. What type of bag was that to where you found all this drugs in there and it had musical instruments?
They searched the aircraft and found 261.6 kilograms of high THC marijuana hidden in the suitcases that were being loaded onto a ground vehicle. The Mr. Beast jet has nothing to do with this. Seelatz is a different story. He left Paraguay on a commercial flight hours before the drugs were found.
Okay, so let's lay a foundation. The jet, they verified, had nothing to do with the jet that the brother got from Mr. Beast. It was a different jet. So the Mr. Beast jet, the brother Sila, he still has in the States. 2, the brother had already got him back on a flight, and he went back home because he had other contract work to do. So did the white dude. So the white co-pilot and the brother who won the plane for Mr. Beats, they had contract work back in the States to do. So as soon as they landed the plane, they got on a commercial plane and they flew back home. After they flew back home, the police started investigating the plane, the Paraguayan police, and they looking like, what the heck? Oh, hell no. So that's where we are right now.
He is now under an arrest warrant. His location is unknown.
What actually happened is that Jabari Brown, 21-year-old pilot, he was asked last second to fly a private plane to Paraguay to get some hours for his pilot license. It looks good on his resume, well understood. But my friend Marisol, she is a very pretty girl, and she was invited on this plane by another gentleman. And
that was Marisol when she's not looking crazy.
Good on his resume, well understood. But my friend Marisol, she is.
So this is her. She looks good for 47. Shout out to Marisol. She looks good for her age. 47 years old. She was trying to start being a content creator because he convinced her. The guy that's talking is one of her really close friends, and she's really close to some well-known content creators, but she never started her own channel. So the brother that's talking convinced her into starting her own channel. And so she said, okay. So she was thinking, I can go down to Paraguay, get some footage that'll help me start off my brand. That's what she was thinking. Let's continue on.
A very pretty girl, and she was invited on this plane by another gentleman. And he said, hey, Marisol, you want to go on this plane and you to over the weekend? I know you're going through a lot of stuff right now. Your daughter passed away not too long ago. Let's go for a vacation. Let's get out of the country and enjoy ourselves.
So she had a daughter that died. And so she's trying to clear her mind. So she got the loss of her daughter, and now she's locked up in Paraguay.
So she didn't ask any questions. She got on this private plane. Let me rewind it for a little bit. Lately, I've been telling Marisol, yo, get on your content. It's a lot of money in doing content. You find yourself, you just evolve into another person to do content. I'll call her and she tells me, hey, you would never believe what's going on right now. I'm going out of the country on a private plane. Now, me personally, I didn't want to hate. I didn't want to sound like a dude that's hating, like, who are you going with? What dude would take you on a private jet out of the country? Like, why? But I was thinking it. And on top of that, it's like, I get it. Content, private jet, really nice, really nice private plane. Like, ask yourself this. If I was to invite you on a private plane to go, let's say, Greece or Brazil, would you say yes or no?
Hell no. I'm saying, if I don't know you and I don't know who else on that plane, bruh, I'm saying no. I'll meet y'all in Greece. I am not getting on a plane just because the plane looks good. And that's what she did.
Would you ask me any questions like, why? Is there any drugs on the plane? Why would you ask me last second to hop on this plane and go with you out of the country? Well, that's what happened with Marisol. She was invited on this plane last second to go out of the country on a private plane. I know the news headlines are saying a lot of things, but I actually spoke to her since she's been arrested. When she called me, I said, yo, Marisol, they got you looking like Griselda Blanco out here. What are you doing?
So that's her. When they arrested her, this is the outfit that she had on. They had just got off the plane. They went to dinner. American DEA, CIA, FBI, and the feds from Paraguay were all inside of the restaurant, pretending to be customers. It was like she was flash mob. Next thing you know, this is her being escorted out of the restaurant where they were eating.
Who are you with? She laughed because she called me sobbing, crying. She called me sobbing. She was like, listen, you gotta believe me. I didn't know that it was any drugs on the plane. I said, Marisol, tell me, did you see any drugs on this plane? She said, no, I went to the restroom. I didn't see anything. They took my luggage. That was it. Like, I didn't see any drugs on the plane. I do believe her. That's really why I'm making this video, because when you know somebody's character, a friend, like I'm a friend, I try to be the truest, honest friend and that come through for my people that came through for me, which is why I'm making this video. I believe her because one thing Marisol is not going to do is risk not seeing her kids again. She's not going to do that. She lost one daughter, her daughter at the age of 18 years old, by senseless gun violence. Some random kid shot into a group of people and her daughter got hit in the arm and ended up dying. So, you know, she's been going through a lot, crying a lot. Like I talked to her a lot, try to console her, try to help her, try to be there for her as someone who a friend, a true friend should be. Her flying out of the country to get away because we are coming up on that anniversary date of her daughter passing away. I get it. And
wow. So her 18-year-old daughter was deleted in a random situation. She has other children. She's 45 years old, 3 years from being 50 years old. You, Marisol, if I could say this, baby, you too old to get flew out. Marisol, you should have knew it was a setup. You look good for your age. You don't look good enough to get flew out. Ain't nobody flying nobody out over the age of, Marisol, I don't care if you Lisa Ray, and Lisa Ray look good for her age. You are not getting flew out after you hit 40, 45, okay? That's a fantasy. You should have known soon as somebody's gonna fly you out at 47 years old, Marisol, you should have known it was a setup, baby. Okay, Marisol, since you turned 40, has anybody ever flew you out? You thinking like when you was 30, girl. You ain't 30 no more. It's been 17 years since the last time you got flew out. It's been 17 years, man. So they flew you out when you was 30, 31. You think somebody gonna fly your ass out at 47? Come on now. That's what I'm saying. This doesn't make any sense. Will, shout out to Will in the comment. Will said this earlier. Will says, what are these sisters, passport sisters, thinking? Like I said, for all you guys that weren't here earlier, we're going to look at Marisol's story, but we're going to look at a bunch of other passport sisters' story in this tonight's episode. And the number one theme is what Will said earlier. What are you ladies thinking?
Top of that, it's like, I don't know how to get her out of prison in a third world country. Now, if anybody knows how to get somebody out of prison from a third world country, please let me know, DM me. But back to the story. So she calls and tells me that I didn't know that there was drugs on the plane at all. I promise, I swear to you. They let us go out of immigration. They drove us to our hotel. I went to the hotel. I was doing content. I was filming my content like you said. I was filming private jet content. I went to the hotel. Then I got into the pool at the hotel.
Man, that's a lot of drugs on that plane. I ain't gonna lie. That is a lot of drugs. So like she said, they let them off the plane. They let them through immigration. She went to the hotel room. After the hotel room, they were hungry, so they went out to dinner. They went out to dinner and they arrested them at the restaurant.
We went to a dinner. The dinner was so nice. There was a DEA agent behind me the whole time. I didn't even notice this, but when they pulled up on us and arrested us, now I see what was going on. But as she was going to go switch hotels from the hotels that she was at, because her friends said, hey, let's switch some hotels. She said, okay. She comes out, which is the photographs and the video of all the stuff that's going on. She says, that's when the DEA agents and cops from everywhere were just pulling up and pulling out to arrest her. And she pretty much did not take it well. She cried. I know how Marisol cries. She cries hard. I've been there to see it for myself. I'm here trying to get the attention of the U.S. Embassy because apparently they've been making calls to the U.S. Embassy to expedite this process of her not knowing that there was drugs on this plane.
This is the part. We who travel know this. When I heard him talk about the U.S. Embassy, and bless the brother. Shout out to the brother. Shout out to the brother, right? This is the part that Americans don't know that we know who are out here. All you Americans that think that the U.S. Embassy is going to do something, that's the movies. You know, if I could just get to the embassy, that's the movies. If I could have my baby on the soil of the U.S. Embassy, it would be America. That's the movies. In real life, the embassy is not going to do anything. Those of us who live out, if anything happens to Andre, I'm going to tell y'all something. The last person I expect to do anything for Andre is the U.S. Embassy. They will give you a list of attorneys to call in that country. Yes, the U.S. Embassy will do that. Will they pay for it? No. If you are freed, the U.S. Embassy will give you a loan for the flight ticket to get back home. Remember I said loan. That has to be paid back. And if you take too long paying it back, they can freeze your passport until you pay it back. The U.S. Embassy is useless when it comes to emergencies. Do not depend on the U.S. Embassy. I'm going to say this again. For all you guys that want to travel in the future, you do something stupid, the last person that you need to think that you're going to depend on is the U.S. Embassy. And any of us who have traveled can tell you that one. They can tell you, Dre ain't lying. U.S. Embassy ain't going to do nothing for you. They ain't going to do nothing for you. They gonna sit up there and look at you like, really? Dang. What happened? When? Well, how did that happen? U.S. Embassy going to pull out a big old bowl of popcorn and look at you. Wow. Unless you're an important person related to someone important and the embassy isn't doing ish. Absolutely correct. And you got to really be important. But yeah, the U.S. Embassy, like they make it in the movies, it's not like that in real life. He say, Dre, but I've heard of dudes flying out of Colombia, of dudes flying out Colombian women in their 40s to Europe and Dubai. You did notice you said 40-year-old Colombian women. We know how good Colombian women look in their 40s. We ain't talking about stateside women. Let's continue on.
Not being involved, and she was just guilty by association. I'm not sure if that's something that happens, but for all females, if you're invited to get on a private plane to go out of the country, ask questions. And honestly, you kind of want to be more aware of the possibilities of what can happen. Drug trafficking. She's facing right now 10 to 25 years in jail. 10 to 25 years in jail, all because she didn't ask the right questions. Is there any drugs on this plane? And it's crazy because I'm gonna be honest, I've been invited on plenty of private jet flights. I've never asked the question of, is there drugs on this plane? I've just said, hey, what's your, I'll get on the plane, let's go. So I can't say that she was being thirsty to get on a private plane. I mean, the opportunity to get on a private plane, a very nice private plane out the country, a lot of people would do it. And she did that. So this is pretty much one of those.
Put a 1 in the comment section if you would have done it. Put a 2 if you wouldn't have done it. Somebody, one of your boys that reach out to you. Oh, I put 21. I meant to put 2. They put a 2 right there. 1 if you would do it. 2 if you won't do it. I put a 2. I wouldn't have done it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I wouldn't have done it. I don't care. I'm gonna say this. I don't care unless you my partner that I can trust. Yeah, I go with you. But a last minute, total strangers on the plane, I ain't never seen these dudes before, trip and it's out of the country. Hell no. That's the difference between men and women. Men are rationalists. Women are thinking with their emotions. Oh my God, I'm getting flew out, girl. I'm about to get the flu. Men don't think like that. Men thinking like, why the hell somebody want to fly a grown man out? What's going on? Hell no, I ain't going on that trip. Paraguay, where's Paraguay? You talking about all the way down there? Oh, hell no. South America? Ain't that drug continent? That's how men think. Men think like, ain't that drug continent? Ain't it cold in Paraguay? Why the hell would I go all the way down there? Content? Wait a minute. I can get content anywhere. You telling me the coldest place in South America, that's where I want to go to. Oh, hell no, dog. I catch y'all when y'all get back, though. I catch you when you get back. I have a cold beer waiting for you when you get back. That's how men think. We're not, so when my man says, hey, if somebody offered you a flight, you would take it. No, we wouldn't. But maybe that's because we're travelers. I'll say that again. Maybe because we travel and we understand the dynamics of the travel, you know, what mindset you should have. So we don't get we're not excited about getting on an airplane like mere mortals are, like everybody else are. You can't just pull in us onto a plane just to pull us on, because we travel and fly all the time, so it's nothing to us. It's no biggie. Will says this. He said, ever since Snoop Dogg almost got jacked on a private plane by Tupac and his boys, he said, I'm like, hell no. That's true. That's true. He said, man, be like dogs. Yeah, we sniffing it out. We sniffing it out. He said, yeah, I'm good. My brother says this, Ronan, he says, fly you out, steal your organs. Soon as I saw the three strangers in the car, three strangers on the plane, I'm making a U-turn. Oh man, this is a nice plane, man. I'm gonna take a couple photos. Click, click, and I'm gonna walk right out the door. I'm pretending like I was on a private jet. I got flued out, dog. Check out the photos. They ain't even closed the door. I walked out. I ain't telling you that part. I'll walk in and be like, oh yeah, what's up, brother? Yeah, let me take a couple photos. Oh, this is nice. Oh, this is really nice. All right. Let me get a video. Swipe. Okay, I'm out of here. Yeah, I'm gone. No, I ain't going on this trip. Nah, bro. Hell no, nah. I don't know these dudes. Oh, they cool. We cool. Yeah, I bet you are cool. I'm out of here. Hit me when you get back, bro. Hey. Hit me when you get back. That's serious, man. You say fly out, steal your organs. It will be worth the flight. To them, absolutely correct. Real talk. Sober-minded traveler here. Yes, sir, Leo. Yes, sir. Let's continue on with the video. I just wondered if it was just me. Well, he says this. He says, usually, let me hit this real quick. Joe, I don't know why it's pausing like that. I guess it just means for me to just go back to the video.
Videos of like, does anybody know how to expedite?
Well, he says this. He said, usually a man who owns or paying for a private jet wouldn't invite random strangers on the plane. That's true. He said, I would have known it was suspicious and declined. I'm with you on that one.
The process of not having her stay behind bars for as long as they're trying to get her to stay behind bars. We're trying to get her home, and we're trying to get that petition signed to 1,000 signatures. We stuck at, as of this video, stuck at 236. It is hard getting people to do something that is for free, that doesn't take any money out their pocket or too much of their time. And I'm just asking, if you see this video, sign the petition, share the word, because guilty by association, now facing 10 years to 25 years behind bars in a South American prison, is hard. Like I said,
this is doing too much. This is if you need a dictionary definition of doing too much, this, sister, is the definition of you doing too much. You got kids back home in the States. Sit your ass down somewhere. You probably got grandkids. Sit your butt down somewhere. You could tell this was a single mama, because if she had a man, her man would have said, you ain't flying out nowhere. So obviously she's a single mother with kids, 47 years old. She probably don't have too many adventurous years left. You know, she probably was that girl when she was young. Now she can have a I'm that girl moment at 47 years old. I'm not hating on the sister. She can have a that girl moment at 47 years old. And then you find out that your that girl moments are over. Sis, you should have been bowling somewhere, fishing, golfing. You should have been crocheting. You should have been traveling to like the Grand Canyon somewhere if you want to do some footage. You know, if you want to do some footage, America got a lot of landmarks that you can go to do some footage. But that being flown out and jeopardizing your time with the kids that you do have alive, you doing too much, sis. You doing too much. You too old to be flown out. You know, why y'all women think y'all can sit up there and do all that? My brother 313 says, he said, yeah, Dre, you're correct. She's doing too much, like Lisa Ray. Like that Lisa Ray video that she out there dancing to them songs that the young girls dance to. Talking about boosting stores, that song that talks about boosting for young girls to go out there and boost stores and steal products from stores and then sell it for cash. And Lisa Ray out there, she got her video, just came out a few days ago. She just out there just dancing away with it. And everybody's like, girl, you almost 60 years old. Sit your down somewhere. Why are you dancing to little girl songs on social media? Lisa Ray always try to play like she's such a lady. But then every time she shows us, she is nothing but an old chick from that South Side Chicago. That's all she is. Lisa Ray has been riding. Can I be honest, guys? Lisa Ray has been riding out that diamond, that role that she played as Diamond in Players Club for the longest. Lisa, that was a part in a movie. You are not Diamond. Grow up. Vivica Fox is another one doing too much. Talking about she wants this type of man, that type of man, this type of lady. Lisa is too immature. Vivica, your ass too big. Vivica, you should go ahead, stop playing. Next time you in the studio, go look for the janitor. Go on, stop playing. Go on, get with the janitor. Hey, Lisa, the dude that's working the lights in the studio, I mean, not Lisa, but Vivica, the dude that's working the lights in the studio, you need to be with him. You know, when you do an interviews of Vivica, the dudes that put the furniture out there for the interviews, for the talk shows, you need to be with the furniture dude. Yeah, the dude that do the set, the props dude, go and get with the props dude. Vivica, don't nobody else want your big ass. Your hands big, your feet big, neck all big. What happened to Vivica? What happened to set it off, Vivica? What happened to fine ass set it off, Vivica? You ain't even anywhere. If somebody was to walk up to you and tell you, you know, you used to be in the movies, you wouldn't even believe it. You wouldn't even believe that your damn self was in the movies. Goodness gracious. Bring back Set It Off, Vivica. Get your ass into somebody's gym and maybe somebody get with your ass. But you can't be old and looking like you look like a big ass tuna that was captured in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. You know how when they weigh the tuna, that's how you look at Vivica, like a big ass tuna that a sports fisherman caught. Girl, if you don't get your ass in somebody's gym, you don't need no dick. You don't need Vivica, you too big. You too big. Go on, get your ass over there and get with the prop guy, get with the lighting guy, get with the janitor, get with them dudes. Hey, them prop guys, some good dudes. They know how to move the furniture around, right? A television, they move the props. If you got a talk show, they take that couch out the way. They bring the other couch in the table for that talk show. Hey, good dudes. The lighting guys, make sure the lights are just right. Good dudes. The janitor, make sure the studios are always clean. Get with the janitor. But your ass is not Set It Off no more. You are not Set It Off Vivica no more. I'm sorry. Set It Off Vivica was a slim goodie. Set It Off Vivica was a slim goodie. You are not a slim and ain't nothing goodie about you. Your attitude ain't good. Your body damn sure ain't good. Face, You got a face only a father could love now, Vivica. Only a father could love. Vivica, your face look like your daddy now. You got your daddy's features, Vivica. Your face so full. You're looking like your daddy. You got your grandfather's features. Vivica looking like she got her grandfather's features. You say that's what the Botox does after years. It makes them bloated in the face. I didn't know that. Wow, man. Yeah, Vivica need to stop that, man. What happened to that Vivica that was in the movie with Morris Chestnut? What happened to that fine mother? Remember the movie Vivica was in with Morris Chestnut, and they were corporate America? What happened to that Vivica? God damn. So Marisol, stop it, girl. Stop it.
I know Marisol. Marisol ain't transporting 500 pounds in marijuana, and she not risking to take a flight to a South American country where she knows nobody to make a quick dollar, or make any kind of money. She's not a money hungry person like that. I know this person's character. When I tell you I know her, I know her. I want to get the awareness out there. I want to get it to where someone says, hey, you can do this or do that, or I know someone here and you got to say this or say that, or file this paper or file that paper, or you as a friend or family member has to fly to Paraguay. What can we do to get her out of prison? Because guilty by association? Nah. And I asked her, I said, hey, why did they let Jabari go? She said, well, they haven't let him go. He's still in the detention being held, and he's not allowed to leave the country. I asked her, how's he holding up? She said, honestly, he's keeping me together. He said he believes in God. He's never drank. He's never smoked. And his faith is what's keeping him strong. This is his testimony. This is just something he's going through that he knows he's going to get through. To me, that hit so hard because I don't smoke and I don't drink, but I do hop on private planes. And if I'm with some people who didn't tell me that there was drugs on the plane, guilty by association, oh my God, I don't know how I would take that. So just the proper news and the proper headline that's out, I want to get that out there. Yeah, if anybody knows how to get anything going in Paraguay, or if anybody cares to share the real news and real direct conversations that I've had with her before she was transferred from the detention.
No, I don't think he's simping. I think he's just looking out for a friend. I don't think that she's guilty of anything, in all sincerity. I think she was at the wrong place at the wrong time trying to do too much. That's how I look at this situation with this particular passport sis. Like I said, we're going to hear from a few more passport sisters. But this one, doing too much at the wrong place at the wrong time. I don't see that he's simping, trying to get the coochie or nothing. He say no. He say they going to look at her content and judge her. Absolutely correct. Like they look at the rappers to judge their lyrics songs. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct.
Sent her to the maximum security prison in Paraguay. We're just asking for help with some attention.
That's how the jails look for real, bruh. That's how the jails look for real. It's bad, man. It's really bad in Paraguay. And you got to get your own food. I'm gonna say this again. In Paraguay prisons, you got to either have people send money for you to have food, or your ass gonna starve. I've watched. They are part of what I've discovered. I didn't even put it on the show. I didn't put it in the clip. It was so grotesque to watch these people eating from literal trash bags. Literal trash from restaurants. These people were eating that in prison. That's where they're eating from. Human rats, if you will, in Paraguay. So if you get locked up down there, bruh, it's crazy, bruh. Let's continue on.
I don't know those other two guys, so I can't speak for those other.
Yep, that's how it looks in the prisons. All the photos that I saw, it's like that. One of them one video I saw, their prison was nothing but a basketball court. And people slept in the middle of an outdoor basketball court. Literally. They were in Paraguay. They were literally sleeping on an outdoor basketball court. I was like, and the dude pointed to his little corner. He said, you know, and they were interviewing him, and it was like, what if you find somebody that's sleeping in your corner? He said, we're going to fight. And it was outdoors. If it rained that night, it rained that night. No, man, I ain't gonna see you that video. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm like, they got crack. You know how they got drugs in all prisons, bro. They got crack pipes in the Paraguayan prisons like it's nothing. Guard to be standing right there. I was looking at the videos of the documentaries in Paraguay prisons just to get an idea of what takes place, bro. Crazy, dude. The guard is right there. They got crack all over the place, piping it up. I'm talking about they got that flute, and they are playing the flute like they Andre 3000. They in the security guard was just sitting right there like it was nothing. I said, "Oh, this is real. This is real hell."
Two guys, if they knew or if they didn't know that there was drugs planted within the plane. But I do know Marisol, and she ain't Griselda Blanco. She ain't traveling to a South American country with 500 pounds of drugs on a private plane. It just don't make sense. So yeah, let me know and free Marisol.
We will. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, they honored it! They honored it! You just won this private jet!
So this one, the brother first won the jet. Will said, let's talk about how known Mexican and South America are for drugs. Absolutely correct. He said, people tell you not to trust anyone in Mexico or South America. So the chick went with 3 dudes on a cocaine place. I didn't get the last word, but I'm with you on that one. Yeah, she ain't coming home. That one, I could believe. This video right here is after they unloaded the plane. These are the actual drugs from the plane. Oh, from the country in Spanish. Thanks, brother. I appreciate you, gentlemen. Just off how them dudes look with her, she should have got off the jet. That's what I'm saying. You guys gonna see a lot more footage. Believe you me, let's go.
Sorry, man.
You can take your hand up, because it's yours! It's yours now! Congrats on the brand new jet! We're gonna give them each $20,000. You got.
So this was the brother that won the Mr. Beast plane. He was also the pilot of the plane, which is not the same one. He was also the pilot of the plane that went to Paraguay. He had another job to do back in the States, so he immediately hopped on a plane leaving Paraguay. Him and his white co-pilot left Paraguay. And after Paraguay said, hey, there's some drugs on this plane. But these guys were already gone.
A year after winning a private jet in one of Mr. Beast's biggest YouTube challenges, Jabari Brown has unexpectedly found himself making headlines again. The young pilot, known online as Captain Treasy, was briefly detained in Paraguay after authorities seized a large shipment of marijuana from a separate aircraft he helped operate. While Brown has since been released, the incident quickly drew attention because of his connection to Mr. Beast's viral competition and the luxury jet he won in 2025. The case began on May 30th when a Bombardier Challenger 604 landed at Silvio Pettirossi International Airport near Asunción, Paraguay. According to Paraguay's National Anti-Drug Secretariat, SENAD, officials discovered 261.6 kilograms, or about 577 pounds, of marijuana inside.
Oh, why it's freezing like that. I don't know why it's freezing. I'm going to bring it down, then I'll bring it back up. Give me a second, gentlemen. I'm going to bring it down, remove it, and then I'm going to bring it back up. Give me a second.
I need your help. My friend is in trouble.
Found no evidence connecting him to the cargo found inside passengers' luggage. One local report said Jabari Stephen Brown was released this Monday, June 1st, 2026, by decision of the...
So they said that when it comes to the brother, they found no evidence, so that's why he was able to leave.
Public Prosecutor's Office of Paraguay. The authorities determined that in his role as a contracted co-pilot, he had no knowledge of the drugs that were in the passenger's luggage. While Brown has been cleared for...
I don't know why it keeps freezing like that. Give me a second. Give me a second. Let me close some of my windows out. Maybe that's it. Close some of these windows out. He said, Dre, did they stop in a few countries? That plane has a range limit. That's true. To get fuel, like you guys were saying, to get jet fuel and everything. So let's see. But I don't know what's going on with the video real quick. Give me a second. Give me a second, guys. I'm going to refresh. Okay. Now let me bring the video back up.
Need your help. My friend is in trouble.
Was released this Monday, June 1st, 2026, by decision of the Public Prosecutor's Office of Paraguay. The authorities determined that in his role as a contracted co-pilot, he had no knowledge of the drugs that were in the passenger's luggage. While Brown has been cleared for now, the investigation remains active. That brings attention to the people who are still facing legal action and to the broader questions authorities are trying to answer about the flight. Sometimes the biggest headlines are not the full.
I don't know what's going on. You know, we never have this issue, but it's more than one way to do this. So let me pull it up from over here.
Tres norteamericanos compareciendo ante la jueza de crimen organizado, Rosarito.
Right here, this is them when they first get to court. As you can see her on the far end with the pink on, and the guys, those three guys were the guys that got arrested with her. Those are the guys that got arrested.
Aquí ya en el Poder Judicial estamos hablando.
Wonder why that's doing that. Let me see something.
Paraguay, authorities searched the plane and they discovered that there were drugs hidden inside the compartments of the plane.
So let's go back. This right here is one of her good friends that's talking. Oh, why the video want to act up on us now?
importante para la investigación de la fiscalía, por eso se había otorgado su libertad propiamente. Pero vamos a conversar nuevamente con los abogados seguramente
arrested and has been incarcerated while her
Another one of her friends that's a content creator trying to get the word out.
case moves through the legal system. I'm not asking anyone to ignore the law. I am asking people to understand that being present does not automatically mean someone is guilty. Every person deserves due process, a fair review of evidence, and the opportunity to tell their side of the story. As someone who personally knows Marisol, I believe she deserves that chance. Please continue to keep her and her family in your
Wow, this thing is pausing. It doesn't pause when I edit it. So let me do this. Let me do this.
All right, I need y'all help.
conocer también ya había viajado.
fair review of evidence and the opportunity.
Okay, so I'm going to take it down from here. We're going to watch it from over here. Okay. So here we go.
Opportunity to tell their side of the story. As someone who personally knows Marisol, I believe she deserves that chance. Please continue to keep her and her family in your prayers. And if you feel led, sign and share the petition to help bring awareness to her case. Thank you.
And so they had a petition out there.
I mean, that's what makes him suspicious.
This right here, and I don't know half of what this guy has said at one point in time. The white guy is the white co-pilot. The white guy in the t-shirt is the white co-pilot to the black guy. So he was able to go home. The brother who was the pilot were able to go home. But Marisol and the other guys weren't able to go home. So this is an interview with the white co-pilot on that plane and why he was able to go home.
Paraguay 2OC.
From OC. Together with the co-pilot, we've successfully flown a variety of aircraft many times before.
Fun. He was also released now, so the investigation is ongoing and you are collaborating with the authorities and also the co-pilot.
If you truly believed in your innocence, why didn't you remain in Paraguay to assist directly and in person with the ongoing investigation?
I did not know that there were any drugs. I found out when I was already in Miami.
And I ask you why you didn't stay to collaborate? He didn't know.
So the white guy saying, listen, we were already, the pilots, they were already back on a flight. They had landed in Miami. That's when they found out about the drugs. So he's like, listen, I do my job, I drop off planes, and I leave. I don't hang around the countries. Same thing with the brother. The brother is back home in the States. So the pilots, both pilots, have been found not guilty of anything.
We had a flight ticket to return because I had other jobs. Và BIN đã từng đưa Si trải nghiệm qua những ngày trước, nhưng bây giờ liệu ngay em ghi lại có khác biệt thế gì chăng?
I acquired the prosecutor's WhatsApp number and even sent repeated text messages requesting her to call, but she hasn't responded yet.
He accessed the WhatsApp of the prosecutor or the prosecutor who is handling the case and is writing to him to call him because he wants to count his session and they have not yet contacted him.
Guess what? Ignorance is not a justified lawsuit. You can still go to jail for something you inadvertently did not know. So if you're going to take the time to be here, be there, learn the laws. You had people come from the United States, go overseas and get locked up. Why? Because over there, women are supposed to be covered up. You out there forgot your hoodie. You forgot your cover. Now you doing 6 months over there because you didn't know they laws.
Not to scare you, but here are 3 ways you might be breaking the law in other countries. Hi, I'm Brittany. I've traveled to 31 countries and I'm also an attorney. So these are the things that I look out for when I'm planning my trips abroad. 1, medication. For instance, if you're going to Japan, you can't bring
y'all can't make up some of these stories. 37-year-old woman arrested for pretending to be a 12-year-old to get adopted. For pretending to be a 12-year-old to get adopted. They locked their ass up. Let's go back here. American woman arrested in Bali after an alleged mistake. Family started a GoFundMe and raised $20,000 by Monday, where she could be facing 4 to 12 years in prison.
Attorney. So these are the things that I look out for when I'm planning my trips abroad. 1, medication. For instance, if you're going to Japan, you can't bring Adderall, you can't bring Vyvanse, even if it's prescribed to you. And if you're caught with it, you're going to get banned from the country, and there's a likelihood that you're going to get prison time.
63-year-old woman. All this happened in the last year, by the way, guys. All this is brand new arrests. 63-year-old lady or woman arrested after alleged 31 cakes of cannabis haul found in her luggage. 31 cakes. When I tell y'all women get arrested in other countries, they get arrested.
That also includes things like cough syrup and Tylenol. 2, taking pictures of governmental buildings, police, military.
2 Thai women arrested in Taiwan with over 300,000 of that boy, who is that girl? I think the heroine is that girl. Smuggling attempt.
Certain countries, if you're caught doing that, you're getting locked up. Even if they find it on your social media and they're not around, they're going to find you. Have you seen the show Locked Up and Abroad?
UK-based woman alleges that she was arrested for using the word drug instead of using the word medication. So in certain countries, if you use the word drugs, you might get locked up compared to using the term medication.
I don't think you want to be locked up and abroad. 3, camouflage. So for instance, in certain countries like Jamaica, you can't wear camouflage.
Women arrested for kissing in public in Uganda, knowing that that's illegal, but they're going to try to do it anyway.
Because that's strictly for the military. Definitely keep these 3 things in mind when you're planning.
Police arrest a 99-year-old woman who always dreamed of being arrested so she could cross it off her bucket list. Grandma say, I got one dream and one dream left. And that's to get locked up. Grandma look happy as, hey, y'all can't make this up. These women, I don't know what it is about the life of crime that turns them on, even at 99 years old.
Out your trips. These are just some examples. There's plenty of other country-specific laws that you need to watch out for whenever you're traveling. So if this is the type of content that you like, definitely follow for more, and thanks for watching.
Dubai. What not to do in Dubai? Do not use your left hand to greet anybody.
That's illegal?
It's illegal to do that. You can.
What?
These are things that say that before you head out, check out this list. What not to do in Dubai, because you can actually end up in jail and suffering serious consequences. Do not. Can you imagine that? What if you're left-handed and use your left hand to shake someone's hand?
What if you only have a left hand? What if you're amputated and you only have a left hand?
It says do not use your left hand to greet anybody. So that means don't wave, don't shake their hand. I'm glad I'm right-handed.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I'm not shaking nobody's damn hand. I'm just going to bow.
I'm not going.
Do not indulge in PDA.
You go to jail for that? I would be.
That means no kissing, no hugging your mate, no holding hands.
What?
Holding hands.
I'd be in jail instantly if I'm out there.
Public displays of affection are not allowed in Dubai, guys.
That's crazy.
So if you love your man, you better leave him alone. Or your lady.
Yeah,
you cannot be touching on them.
That's crazy.
Dios. Oscar, ¿cómo está? Buenos días.
¿Cómo está, Benito? Buenos días para vos, para todos los televidentes y a las órdenes. Saludos a todo el equipo también. Ahí estoy viendo el equipo completo.
¿Cuál es tu planteamiento ahora, Oscar? ¿Qué estás pidiendo? Ellos están en prisión. ¿Dónde y qué vas a hacer?
Bueno, en primer lugar, hoy recién voy a hablar con ellos con mayor tranquilidad. El día de ayer fue una cuestión de explicarles cómo.
Give me a second, guys. This section is supposed to be translated into English. We're going to skip ahead, and I'm going to pull up the translated English version. Let me see.
Cuando se decreta la prisión y no corresponde. O sea, si yo voy a garantizar con bienes suficientes, si yo tengo arraigo en el país, si es una persona conocida, no me voy a escapar. Lo normal es que me den.
It's sickening. He's messages responding to it.
Let's go here.
Guilty.
The person that was talking was the attorney. So we're going to go here, and then I'm going to get it translated into English for us.
Guilty. They will give you a lesser charge.
I'm pleading not guilty, Mom.
Okay. A timer counts down her 10.
O sea, ¿qué culpa tiene la empresa que alquiló el avión de lo que hicieron las personas que alquilaron? Es como que yo alquilo un vehículo, Benito, tomate, te alquilo mi vehículo y vos te vas a cometer un hecho punible. O sea, yo ¿por qué tengo que pagar por...
Arrested at 19 with 25 kilos of cocaine in her suitcase, Jade is allowed one phone call a month from her prison in Hong Kong. If you plead guilty, they will give you a lesser charge.
I'm pleading not guilty, Mom.
Okay. A timer counts down her 10 allotted minutes with her family back in Cambridge, Ontario.
Okay, all right, time's up.
Love you.
Love you, baby. Bye.
I love you.
Bye.
Bye. Love you. Inside the laptop Jade left behind a digital roadmap to how she was tricked. Her mom Nadiria and dad Gary show her Instagram messages responding to a job offer for an international package shipper. Hey, your flights, accommodation, food. The job pays $5,000. And she says, dude, this seems like a dream. Like it's not even real. Yeah. As long as you're above 18, no criminal record and valid passport, you're good to go. She's a bit skeptical here. You're telling me, okay, so how do I know this is legit and I'm not about to get kidnapped? Jail is the last thing on my mind. If she finds friends to join the team, she'll earn $250. She's instructed to send a video verifying her address. She's so inexperienced that he explains basic travel information in a voice message.
You'll get on the plane, they'll give you a menu.
She writes, "This is luxury. I feel too poor to have this." It's sickening. He's just rolling up a snowball and tossing it in hell. Jade is one of 4 Canadians recently arrested in Hong Kong with a total of 100 kilos of cocaine in their suitcases.
These women get conned so easily. They get conned so easily. There is no way these women should be having kilos of drugs. Excuse me, guys. Let me get rid of this. Get rid of this too. And bring this back up. No way these women are supposed to have kilos of drugs in their possession. This is how they get caught up. Now I've lost you guys. Remove this. Okay, there we go.
I visited each of them in different Hong Kong prisons. We couldn't record anything inside, so I just had to frantically write out notes. Omar, who turned 21 behind bars, is from the same region in Ontario as Jade. I asked him if he thinks recruiters are still targeting young people. He said, I know they are. I know that they're trying to get more people, and they're going to end up in prison just like me. All 4 Canadians told similar stories. They were flown on the same airline, booked into the same hotel in Hong Kong, required to check in every 2 minutes after landing, and told to use the serial number on currency as a password for picking up and handing off suitcases. So why Hong Kong?
There is a huge demand for it. It's expensive, and people pay a lot of money for cocaine.
Private investigator Melissa Tan has researched cases of foreign drug mules and says cocaine here goes for about $200 a gram, more than double the cost in Canada.
Cocaine users in Hong Kong are actually the affluent, lawyers, bankers.
Hong Kong has some of the longest prison sentences in the world for drug offenses. Unless the 4 Canadians can prove they didn't know what was in their suitcases, they face life behind bars.
The lady who got arrested in Brazil for calling the people that work at the bar the monkey,
I
saw that? They arrested her and she sucked. She's, Argentina. Y'all are getting a bad rap.
This 29-year-old female from Argentina named Agustina Paez was visiting Rio de Janeiro in January. She was at a bar with friends. And I guess they were drinking, having a good old time. The tab came by. She was in disagreement with the amount I guess she was being charged. A dispute ended up happening. She exited the establishment and then proceeded to do monkey noises, basically calling the staff monkeys. Brazil said, hell nah. They arrested her. And then on top of that, they released her on an ankle bracelet. And she could be sentenced to 2 to 5 years of imprisonment. Okay?
Shout to Jamie Woods 11 on Instagram.
Jamie's out there.
Shout to Jamie out there doing the Lord's work. Lord's work. Mr. Showtime said, you would think that the government would let the transfer happen to get the people who are really behind it. You would think, to us, it would be common sense. But the fact of the matter is, they don't think with the same common sense that we do. And so that's why a lot of us are careful when we're in other countries. I'm going to say this again that I said earlier. I'm proud of the black men from the United States. It's rarely you hear us brothers in these situations. After all my years of researching these particular topics, all I ever find are, no offense, white people and women get locked up in other countries. Yeah, a few Africans are up in that mix. I got you. But I'm going to tell you the truth. I find more Asians get locked up for doing stuff in other countries than I do American brothers. That's one thing I can say. I rarely see American brothers with some handcuffs on in somebody else's country. It rarely happens. Back in the States, they always want to lock us up. But then when the playing field is even, it looks like it's not us that get locked up like that. Because being outside in the world, the playing field is even, and it's not us getting locked up. White girls, you see them get locked up all the time. Sisters, you see them get locked up all the time. African brothers and sisters, you see them always getting locked up all the time. Asians in Asian countries, when they go to another country, they always get locked up all the time. Europeans get locked up all the time, like we just saw with the cocaine. When last time you saw some brothers trafficking this, trafficking that? Brothers don't be doing crimes like that when we travel. You'll find a few here and there, yes. You'll find your Floyd Wallaces, but like I said, it takes you a lot, millions of trips that we've taken before you have a Floyd Wallace. So we'll take that L. We'll take that Floyd Wallace L. We'll take that J. Rillo L. The way he destroyed those cars in DR. We'll take that L. But those dudes are so few and far between when it comes to us that travel. But every time you turn around, if they got some handcuffs and they are handcuffing a foreigner, if they put handcuffs on a foreigner, it's usually a white dude, a white woman, a black woman, an African, or an Asian. They are always getting cuffed up for something. But the rest of us brothers, From the States? You don't see us getting locked up like that.
Trying to move it around. He got the Portuguese subtitles. That's how you know.
Yeah, I didn't know racism was illegal.
I love that.
Yes.
Because why? Why does that need to qualify as freedom of speech for things that they can't do anything about? Your race, your religion, your gender. That should be a crime.
Go Brazil.
Eu amo Brasil.
Shout out to Brazil.
So I just got out of prison. For those of y'all that don't know, I spent the last 19 months locked up in the UK. And a lot of you guys wanted a story time, so
I told you, these sisters get locked up on a regular basis. So let's listen. She got locked up in UK. Looked like it was her and a few other people. Looked like some brothers up in there. Let's see if those brothers from the States.
I'm gonna give it to you.
It says, but the operation unraveled when the alert was triggered at one of the suitcases that had arrived in Cancun, Mexico. This is her case. Was put through an X-ray machine.
So these guys had approached me on Instagram and were like, oh, do you want to make some money? So I was like, of course. So they were like, all you got to do is fly to the UK and pick up a suitcase that's already at the airport. And I was like, that sounds easy.
How dumb is she? Yeah, let's go back to see if she said that she was 19. How dumb is she? Even at 19. She did 19 months. She did 19 months. I didn't think she said
racism was illegal.
I love that.
Yes.
Because why? Why does that need to qualify as freedom of speech for things that they can't do anything about? Your race, your religion, your gender. That should be a crime.
They requested
Eu
my
amo
help,
Brasil.
and later today I'll be composing.
So I just got out of prison. For those of y'all that don't know, I spent the last 19 months locked up in the UK. And a lot of you guys wanted a story time, so I'm gonna give it to you. So these guys had approached me on Instagram and were like, oh, do you want to make some money? So I was like, of course. So they were like, all you got to do is fly to the UK and pick up a suitcase that's already at the airport. And I was like, that sounds easy. Honestly, I just wanted to go to make content because the flight and everything was paid for. So I was like, I'm going to make vlogs, like I'm going to do TikToks, all that stuff. I really didn't care too much about the task itself. I was there for other reasons. The bags were not in my name. I did not check anything in. At the time, I had a friend that was staying with me. I'm not going to say her name, but if you know, you know. She was like, oh, I'm gonna go with you. And I was like, okay. Like, I didn't even really want her to come with me, but I wasn't gonna deny somebody the opportunity to make money. So I was like, all right. Mind you, the guys did say that I could invite girls for the next trip that they were gonna do. And I did text some girls. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a liar, so I'm gonna just be honest about everything. I did text some girls like, oh, do you wanna come to the next trip? But this friend that came with me, I did not invite her. Just keep that in mind. On May 31st, 2024, I flew out to the UK. So we're on the plane and I get this like really weird feeling inside. Mind you, I had just gotten like baptized a month prior. So I was feeling kind of guilty inside, you know? When I was on the plane, I pray to God.
So she's supposed to be a Christian. She's supposed to be at church, choir rehearsal, Bible study. She transporting drugs and she know it. That's why she said, I feel guilty.
And I'm like, God, if I'm not supposed to be doing this, please prevent me from doing it. So when I landed and I got to the passport checkpoint, they're like, oh, what hotel are you staying at? And I was like, I don't know. Like, I'm here for modeling. Like, these guys booked my hotel. I don't know what the hotel name is. So they were like, go sit over there. So I felt like that was my sign from God that I shouldn't do it. So at that point, I was already like feeling nervous and stuff. So I texted the guys and I was like, low key, like, I don't even want to do this anymore. They were like, that's fine. Just go to the hotel. But the girl that I was with, I don't know what she told them, but she went through, she left me. So at this point, I'm waiting on the side. She's already gone. So she ends up picking up a suitcase and she like delivered it to the people she was supposed to deliver it to. And she met me at the hotel like an hour or two after she did that. So then she comes back to the hotel. She wants to take a nap. So we both take a nap together. 3 hours later, our hotel room is being raided by the police and we're getting arrested. We get arrested on a Friday. And I'm thinking by Monday, we're going to be out. So on Monday, we see the judge and he's like, do you plead guilty or not guilty? And I'm like, not guilty because I didn't even do anything. I didn't touch no drugs. I didn't like. So he's like, okay, like you're going to have to go to trial and we're going to give you your trial date in 4 weeks on July 8th. So I'm like, at this point, I start crying because I'm like, nah, I cannot be in here for 4 weeks. Like, I got to go home. Like, I'm innocent. How are y'all going to hold me against my will for 4 weeks? Whatever. At that point, they take me to prison.
This is Charlotte May Lee, a 21-year-old originally from the United Kingdom, but living in Sri Lanka. Charlotte May Lee from London was arrested in Sri Lanka after arriving from Bangkok with 46 kilograms of synthetic.
46 Ks. Did I not tell y'all I got passport sis receipts? These women go to other countries and do everything but what they say that they're doing on social media. On social media, they try to make it seem like they're all innocent. He said, I need to start a cult. He said, I didn't know people were this ignorant. Absolutely correct, African Wolf. They always want to talk about what we're doing on vacation when it comes to the ladies, but they never want to talk about what they do when it comes to crimes after crimes after crimes. You say, not everyone says, Lord, this is true. This is true. Not everyone that says, Lord, Lord, shall enter the kingdom of heaven. But he that does, not just says, but does the will of my Father, which is in heaven. Some of the foulest people do horrible things and they claim Christianity. That is so true, brother. So true. Let's continue on, gentlemen.
Cannabis worth around £1.2 million. She says she did not know about the drugs and claims someone put them in her luggage. The UK government is helping her and staying in touch with her family. Lee was arrested on May 11th, 2025 and appeared in a Colombo court. She was sent back to prison for 14 days while the investigation continues. She is held in Negombo prison, which is crowded with poor food and harsh conditions. Lee says she has not eaten properly and is struggling in prison. Her lawyers are preparing her defense. If found guilty, she could face up to 25 years in jail. Charlotte's case shows how dangerous it can be for foreigners accused of drug crimes in other countries. Do you think Charlotte really didn't know about the drugs, or is she lying to avoid jail?
It's amazing how many of these women are getting on these planes and talking about they didn't know about the drugs. I didn't know. Maybe one or two, but none of y'all knew about the drugs. For all these women that always claim that they're so educated and they got a sixth sense and my intuition. Your intuition didn't tell you that it's stupid to fly to another country, go to hotel rooms that aren't in your name, go pick up drug packages. Y'all supposed to be smarter than us, right? If that's true, then how come y'all always in trouble and we not? Y'all stay in trouble, ladies.
South African woman hit with 130-year drug sentence in Sierra Leone over 5.4 kilograms cocaine bust. A South African woman has been handed one of Sierra Leone's toughest drug sentences after airport authorities allegedly caught her attempting to smuggle more than 5 kilograms of cocaine into the country. The convicted woman, Sandra Denise, 37, from Eastern Cape Province, South Africa, was found guilty by the High Court of Sierra Leone on 5 separate cocaine trafficking charges following her arrest at Freetown International Airport.
You can't make this up. This woman got 130 years. 130 years. For playing too much. For playing too much.
Airport in Lungi. According to court records, security operatives discovered 365 pellets of compressed cocaine weighing approximately 5.4 kilograms in her possession during an airport operation. Prosecutors charged her with unlawful possession, dealing, collecting, importing, and transporting prohibited drugs without lawful authority. Denise pleaded not guilty to all charges. Presiding Judge Justice Andrew S.C. Johnson convicted her on all 5 counts and imposed sentences that added up to 130 years in prison. However, in a crucial ruling, the judge ordered the sentences to run concurrently rather than consecutively, meaning Denise will serve a maximum of 30 years behind bars, starting from the date she was first remanded in custody. The case is the latest in a series of major narcotics prosecutions in Sierra Leone, as authorities intensify efforts to combat international drug trafficking through the West African nation. Officials say airports, seaports, and border crossings have become key targets in the government's anti-drug campaign. The conviction has drawn attention both in Sierra Leone and South Africa because of the size of the cocaine seizure and the severity of the sentence imposed by the court.
Now, I will say this, at least she wasn't in Dubai on vacation.
Oh, y'all gonna love this one. Excuse me. 21-year-old woman from NYC, New York. You're gonna have to take this L, New York. New York, y'all gonna have to take this L, has been sentenced to 1 year in prison in Dubai after touching a security guard. Check this out. At the airport. Let me break it down for you before we watch it. She wasn't in Dubai. She was in a layover in Dubai. In other words, she on her way to another country. You're going to love how this go down. How you get arrested in Dubai at the airport and get found. These your queens. These your queens to be. These are your queens. This woman wasn't even in Dubai, bruh. She was just in a layover in Dubai. And end up in a layover. A layover. A layover, bruh. You talking about practice. We talking practice, bruh. Practice? We talking practice, bruh. A layover. And you end up getting a 1 year bit. These y'all queens. Let's go.
She was just traveling through Dubai. She was actually in Istanbul. Nevertheless, I told y'all once, I'm gonna tell y'all again. Y'all really gotta stay home. If y'all don't understand some of the rules of these countries, like you can't Americanize yourself everywhere. And I'm not saying that's what she did or that this is at all her fault. I'm just letting you know. Most countries don't give a fuck that you're American. And by most, I typically mean all. So here's the story. She was going through airport security, leaving Istanbul, transiting through Dubai, and they asked her to remove her waist garment. Her waist garment is a result of some plastic surgery that she had. They let her go with an all-female staff.
All right, so she went to get a BBL somewhere. She got the waist garment on. They checking her out. They telling her to take the waist garment off. She catches a little attitude. They take her in a separate room. And let's hear what else going to happen.
And I guess she felt like the female staff was making fun of her. I don't know. And they removed the garment. They wouldn't help her put it back on. And she says she gently touched the guard to get her out of her way. Now.
Okay, let's pause. When the last time y'all saw a stateside sister gently touch anybody? So they take the little thing off of her, the little wraparound for her BBL, around her waist trainer. And instead of helping her put the waist trainer back on, and that's true, because those waist trainers you clip from the back. So you do need another person to put them on for you. So I got where she's coming from. So they took it off because it takes another person to take it off. It's a girdle, in other words. She had a girdle on. And we all know girdles, they clip from the back. So she pissed because she had to take it off. Flight delayed. She's at a layover. You know how we as black people, we always think everything is racism. Could be or couldn't have been, but she was chosen to go into the back room. So now she got the black girl, I'm American, you can't tell me nothing attitude. And so I guess when she went to reach for the waist trainer, she didn't push this woman out the way. Get your ass out. And since she pushed him out the way, or pushed the lady security guard out the way, the security, Dubai's version of TSA, she done pushed her ass. I barely touched her. You ain't had no business touching that woman at all. I barely touched her. Now your ass got a year in jail. He say, no, she got an attitude and got checked. Good way of putting it, brother. Good way of putting it. Because that's exactly what I was thinking.
You can believe it or not, that's up to you. When she gently touched this particular guard, the guard filed a report of assault. And that is all it took. And now she has a year in jail in Dubai. Let me explain something to you, because I saw this in the comment section. Biden don't come get you when you get in trouble in other countries. I just want you to know, okay? Unless you're like military personnel, unless you are like, you hold some kind of value to national security, nobody's coming to get you. They leave reporters over in other countries for a good little hot minute, okay? So either stay home or learn how to travel without an American lens. And that's the best way I can put it.
We're walking, everything is going great. As soon as we got by the Versace store, like I said, like 10 or 15 police officers on motorcycles circle us. Stop. Like they're speaking French, they're screaming. I'm scared. I'm
no,
like,
I would be
what is
scared
happening?
too.
And I suffer from some severe anxiety. Like I suffer from very bad anxiety and panic attacks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is happening? Like, what's going on? And then like, you robbed somebody. I'm like, rob somebody? No. What, you see what I'm wearing? Like, what do you mean? And they surrounded us. Was like, and then police cars, it was like 30 of them out there.
No.
You would have thought we had like somebody said we had weapons on us. And I was like, they snatched our bags. Everything's falling out on the ground. They ripped our Zara bags. Receipts are falling out. Where's the cash? Where's the cash? In French. And I'm like, the cash? I said, we have credit. Like, and I had the receipts for everything. I start freaking out in the elevator and I'm like, yo, this is it. Like, we're gonna disappear. I don't know what this is.
No, I'd have been like, not today, God.
And I'm like, and I'm crying and I'm begging this lady. I'm like, what is this? Like, this is my younger sister. You can't. My sister's passport, scanned it. I didn't have my ID on me, so they didn't scan anything for me. But we get down there. Tell me why it's the men's unit. And I guess it's connected on the right side. It's men's where they hold the men criminals. And the banging was the men, the inmates downstairs screaming and cursing in French. And I guess they had women on the other side, but I didn't see women. I only saw all men. And I kind of blacked out in that moment because like when I get anxiety and panic attacks, it's kind of like I'm coming in and out. And I felt like I was going to go into cardiac arrest because I'm like, fuck, like, are they going to put us with them? Because you hear different stories around like different countries that mix men and women together. So I wasn't sure and down again to search us again. And then at that time where we're like naked and we're putting our stuff in the bags, I think that was the process of them trying to book us. They were in the process of booking us without even having evidence that we did anything. So my boyfriend spoke German to him and was like, get my girlfriend out. You know what the detective said? Oh, it was all out of jealousy. We're sorry. We'll let her out of jail.
All out of jealousy.
That's crazy.
A woman in her 60s thought she was slick. She's been arrested for allegedly using disguises.
Oh, y'all gonna love this one. Y'all gonna love this one. Check it out.
To pose as 14 people to help them pass UK citizenship tests.
So this woman, just to backtrack, she pretended to be over 14 people. Helping people were paying her to take their citizenship tests for them. You can't make this up. My brother 007 said, her being from NYC, talking about the one from young lady, I'm assuming that she is either wrong case, that she is the wrong case or either wrong case. How some of them chicks up there are weird or wired. Yeah, or wired. Yeah, with that attitude. That's why she got a year in Dubai. T-Mac said, he said, I'm cautious. He said, my inbound flight was late in Singapore to Vietnam. He said they wanted to book a hotel out of the airport. He said, hell no. I heard y'all canned that white boy. Y'all canned that white boy. Put me in the airport hotel. For real. He said, and I forgot to mention, I had prescription painkillers. I refuse to leave the airport. Come on now. Come on now, T-Mac. You know what to do. Common sense, gentlemen. Common sense. He said many of these countries don't play, even with prescription medications. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Yeah, they in the wrong out there. Andrew Craig says this. He said, I have family in UK. He said, that's doing way too much. Yes, sir.
This woman thought she was slick. She was switching up them wigs, hoping that they wouldn't catch her out. But she got caught and now she's being arrested. Dumb of the year contender. So according to this article here, a 61-year-old woman has been arrested for allegedly pulling off a wig-wearing ID swapping scheme to help at least 14 people cheat UK citizenship tests. The Home Office says she gave applicants an unfair advantage in the life in the UK test by posing as them in disguise. Those wigs weren't fooling nobody. She's being caught. I don't know what kind of sentence you can get for this. Maybe it might be a massive fine. I don't know if jail was going to be on the cards, but she really thought she was slick. I don't know how people think just donning a wig is going to just bamboozle and confuse people. They probably knew that she was pulling some scam after person number 2 and was just monitoring what she was doing. She got arrested. Dummy of 2025 so far. Tell me what you think.
Since OJ back 30 years ago, we've seen a lot of high-profile celebrity cases, one of which was Brittany Griner. They got arrested in Russia for carrying drugs. Now, obviously, she's a high-profile athlete and stands out. She's very tall, and she was in a foreign country, and she was going through customs. She brought drugs. Please, my advice to you is don't do anything criminal in a foreign country, because you're going to be subject to their jurisdiction and their laws, and then you're going to be stuck in another country and have the U.S. government try to fight to get you out. So don't put yourself in that situation. That was very silly, and I guarantee you she won't do it again. Don't make the same mistake.
Do not make the same mistake. All right, we're done with that video.
All right, I need y'all help. My friend is in trouble, and I don't know what to do, but I do know what to do. But
so now we're gonna look at. I just while you guys were waiting, I actually edited the Paraguay in Spanish. So let's go here and pull up the video. Let's see. Give me a second.
Oscar, how have you been lately? A warm good morning.
All right, it translated for us. So this is Marisol. The news headlines are going to interview her right now. So we're going to watch the interview, not of her, but of her attorney. So this is the news, and they're going to be interviewing her attorney in Paraguay, our original story. And so let's check out what the attorney has to say. I translated into English for us.
How are you, Benito? Good morning to you, the viewers, the orders, and greetings to everyone on the team watching.
What is your approach now, Oscar, that you are asking for? They are in prison. Where and what are you going to do?
Well, today I'm just going to have a calmer thought.
So right now they just said that they're in prison. They are not in jail, even though they're waiting to be sentenced, even though there's an investigation going on in Paraguay. In Paraguay, you automatically go to prison to wait. There is no holding jail like in the States. They are in prison. And based off of what the friend said, the brother, they are right now in maximum security prison in Paraguay.
With them and discuss things further. Yesterday, I focused on explaining to them the procedural aspects step by step.
as it is here in the country. I have to coordinate my fees with them. First of all, because they came, ours was a country in transit. So here they have absolutely no one. They have no resources. So that's the first thing I'm going to have to clarify with them. From there, I explained.
So those are the three dudes. Those were the three dudes that she was just on the plane with. Let me bring that back. These three guys right here. These were the three guys that got arrested with her. There is none of these guys look like the type of guys I would have been on a plane with. These don't look nothing like any of my partners. That's her at the end trying to hide her face, at the same time talk to either an attorney or prosecutor or somebody, a representative, a translator, before they went to prison. So let's continue on.
With them. From there, I explained the real situation to them, because in this type of events, with the procedure that is done and with all the evidence, I always choose to be honest with the clients, of course, and manage their expectations realistically. These types of punishable acts where prior investigations are carried out, where there is too much evidence that demonstrates guilt, one has to be honest with them, right? From there, we'll explore the possible options available to them. Some asked me yesterday if he's going to be expelled, others if they are going to be prosecuted here. And really, with the passage of time, we will see what the situation is, or what the procedural situation that they are going to go through is going to be.
Now, once again, this is the plane that had the actual plane. These are the actual drugs. I don't know if this is the prosecutor or the attorney or her attorney, but he's telling, and he said, I think some of you guys missed out on that, but I'm gonna go back to it. He said, with the passing of time, then we'll find out what's going on. So they're not even going to get a speedy trial. This man talking about, hey, if we get to it, we get to it. If we don't, it is what it is. This is crazy. So I'm gonna bring that back so you guys can see what he said about with the passing of time. What do you mean the passing of time?
We will see what the situation is, or what the procedure will to them. Some asked me yesterday if he's going to be expelled, others if they are going to be prosecuted here. And really, with the passage of time, we will see what the situation is, or what the procedural situation that they are going to go through is going to be. Yesterday, what I was able to notice is that two of them then speak absolutely no Spanish. They have no contact with absolutely anyone here in the country. They were seeing the possibility of communicating with family members so they can come and provide assistance to them more effectively. So it is a precarious situation for practically all of them, a natural issue. They are not from the country, they have no acquaintances, they have no family, they have no friends, they have nothing here. And well, from there, see what happens. I imagine that in a couple of days, a family member of each of them will arrive in the country so that they can provide some type of assistance. At this moment, not even they have the possibility of buying even the most basic things such as personal hygiene, change of clothes, etc.
Troy Anthony Vasquez, 42, who arranged the plane, David Thomas White, 57, and Marcial Rivas, 39, traveled together from Panama. Their story continues.
Okay, so she's 39, not 47. I thought she was 47. I read one headline that she was 47. So they said that she's 39, but the other headlines I read that she was 47. Either way, she's too old to be talking about something getting flown out. Only from what they said, only two of them know Spanish. They're waiting around for families to fly down. She ain't got no family to fly down. I'm gonna say this again. They ain't got nobody to fly down and put money on their books. So she ain't got nobody to take care of her when that time of the month comes. to be honest. They ain't got nobody to buy them deodorant, soap, toothpaste, no hair care products, no snacks, no zoom zooms, no wham whams. None of that. No food. She's wearing the same clothes that she had on when she came down there. Andrew said, yeah, she my age. Yeah. Lupe says, he said, I have turned down Chica with the neck tattoo. Tattoos are above the neck. Yes, sir. All right, hell no for anything. Yeah, bro, I feel you. He say there are in a import export business from Panama. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. T-Max says Japan and Thailand both require to get pre-approval before arrival before being in certain prescription medications. That's a good point. Thanks for letting me know that. So if you got prescriptions, you might want to let them know in advance. You said face tats are immediate no, unless I'm hiring you to delete someone for real. So they looking bad, African Wolf. They're looking real bad. Let's continue on.
As Americans, Oscar and the group face accusations related to possession and international drug trafficking. Presumably, the U.S. Embassy will intervene to address the matter.
They requested my help, and later today, I'll be composing a detailed email to the embassy, clarifying their roles and responsibilities in this legal interaction. During their initial arrest day, the consul contacted the Senate to move things forward, obtaining legal insights. Subsequently, they no longer had contact with anyone at all. So the question they asked me, and I don't know either, if the embassy is going to give him a kind of assistance. One of them has diabetes. That is something natural, right? That surely every citizen who goes abroad and has problems tries to turn to their embassy. Right now, you should closely monitor this case and investigate the embassy's intentions regarding involvement with your countrymen, right?
Doctor, could you confirm where they are currently secured and housed?
Today, they are going to be transferred to Takumbu, the two men. The woman is going to go to Complex, which is the prison for women.
Damn.
And surely the normal procedures will be carried out, the files, the medical inspection.
Like I said, they took her straight to prison. Do not pass go. Yeah, you diabetic and you locked up. That's crazy. Do not pass go. They just said they took her straight to the prison. Let's bring that beat back.
That is something natural, right? That surely every citizen who goes abroad and has problems tries to turn to their embassy. Right now, you should closely monitor this case and investigate the embassy's intentions regarding involvement with your countrymen, right?
Doctor, could you confirm where they are currently secured and housed?
Today, they are going to be transferred to Takumbu, the two men. The woman is going to go to Complex, which is the prison for women. And surely the normal procedures will be carried out, the files, the medical inspection. And I believe that by noon, they are going to be transferred, which is good because at least in those places, they are going to have the possibility of having greater contact, being able to bathe. They were not bathing 3 days ago. I think they have not eaten for 24 hours for a natural reason. They are having dinner in a restaurant. They do not have to provide that assistance.
So they not necessarily have to provide them assistance. This is their attorney talking. They haven't eaten in 24 hours at that time period when the attorney was being interviewed. They're going to be transferred to the prisons. And I know you ain't talking about no damn bond in another country. I know you ain't talking about no bond, DJ. DJ talking about bonds. Yo, sit your ass somewhere. You crazy, DJ. He say no bond? No, bruh. No bond. Will says what the embassy will do is provide you with, like I said that earlier, Will's absolutely correct. Provide you with a list of local attorneys. They will contact your family, your friends, your employer upon your written permission to do so. T-Mac says this. He say, Dre, don't let some of them ninjas know Colombia has conjugal visits. I know, right? At certain prisons and covered by the Constitution. He says some of these ninjas are so thirsty that they will find a way to take advantage of it. That is so true. Will says this also. That is so true, T-Mac. Will says this. He said, visit you regularly and provide, talking about the embassy. The embassy will visit you regularly and provide reading material, hygienic items, so that's good. Vitamins and supplements, that's good. Where appropriate and permitted by that particular country. Help ensure that the officials are offering you the appropriate medical care. That's what the embassy will do for you. Good call, Will. Thanks for that information. He say they'll also inform you of local and U.S.-based resources available to you as a detainee. Request the official permit. Request that officials permit your visits, including with members of the clergy of your religion of choice. The U.S. Embassy will help facilitate family and friends in sending you money if you are unable to send you monetary or send money to you directly. So the U.S. Embassy will help your family make sure the money gets to you. He said, no noodle packets, no jail bond, no zoom zooms, no wham whams, bruh. No prison recipes, no prison noodles, no prison nachos, none of that. Man, oh goodness gracious, I just had a quick flashback. I haven't made, you know what? You know what? That's what I'm going to do. I haven't had prison nachos in forever. I haven't taken, cut up the vegetables, take your cheese, take your Doritos, put it in the bag, melt your cheese down, of course. Take your ramen noodle soup, put it in that big plastic bag and shake it around. Ah, man, I ain't had prison nachos. You know what? We do got movies this Saturday. We're going to be watching this Saturday. We got a couple movies coming up. So if you guys aren't doing anything on Saturday, we're going to be watching movies here. I might make me some good old-fashioned prison nachos. I might have to pull out my old skills and make some. Y'all laughing. I might have to go ahead and get a good old-fashioned garbage bag. Put my Doritos in it, my ramen noodle soup, my melted cheese, chop up some vegetables, put it off in there, and get to doing the do. I might have to do the do this weekend. So if y'all see me with some prison nachos, don't judge. Don't judge. Don't judge your boy. It's been about a good 20 years since I had some prison nachos. It's been about a good 25 years since I had some prison nachos. He say cell block Dre cuisine. I might have to pull I might have to pull a trash bag out or two. Mix it on up in the trash bag with the melted Velveeta. Yes, sir. Oh yeah, don't take some tuna and throw it off in there just a little bit. Do a little tuna can off in there. Little can of tuna. With your Doritos. Don't crush the Doritos up. You don't want to crush them up too much. Just throw you a couple bags of Doritos. Y'all laughing. Y'all gonna be mad this weekend. Y'all gonna see your boy. Because we got a couple Kung Fu movies coming this weekend anyway. We're gonna be watching some movies, man. I'm gonna just pull out some beer and some prison nachos. Y'all be like, this Negro is crazy. Ooh, and then when you open it up, you don't put it in a bowl. If you're eating it by yourself, you just roll down a garbage bag. You just open up the garbage bag and roll it into a circle. You just eat it right out the trash bag. You got your fork with the ramen noodle. Watching your little television show. In jail, we watching telenovelas. Well, what she say? What she say in Spanish? What? The garbage bag becomes the bowl. You just roll the garbage bag around, kind of like fold it up. And it's like having a big old bowl of nacho. I might have to pull that one out. He say, not the prison slam. He said, I've heard stories. I know, right? Oh my God. Oh, I'm just having a flashback, man. Commissary, going to the commissary. You got money on your books, can't tell you nothing. He said, when I was younger, I tried to make nachos with government. Oh, no, you didn't. With government cheese, he said, it won't melt enough. He said, I know, right? It will melt just enough for grilled cheese sandwiches. That's it. That's absolutely correct. He said, most of these brothers are too young to know the generic foods in the white box that we used to live off of. That's so true. White labels, no color at all. Absolutely correct. He said bologna sandwiches with the red plastic. Come on now, around the trim, red plastic edges. You say you burn the edges to get the best taste. Yes, it was. Man, with some mustard. A bologna sandwich with some mustard and Miracle Whip, not mayonnaise. Miracle, oh my goodness. Yes, sir. And then don't get fancy with your bologna sandwich and put a little bit of lettuce over the top. You think you're doing something fancy. So this right here is the attorney. He is the attorney. He said that they have been transferred to jail. To prison, actually, not to jail, to prison. And it's basically they're gonna get to him when they get to him. He said, not the break with the Doritos and the noodles. Yes, sir. I'm gonna have to pull that off this weekend. Y'all think I'm playing? Watch this Saturday. When we do watch the movies this Saturday on this channel, I'm pulling it out. I'm pulling it out. Like, this fool got a trash bag for real. Pull out the hefty. Just bring it in here. Have my beers. Have me a fork and some nachos. Man, you can't tell me nothing. I haven't had that in forever. Goodness gracious. Yes, sir. Michelin star nachos. Michelin star penitentiary edition. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Brother said the Michelin. I'm with you on that one. The top-notch chef recipes. Jay Casey said, he said, I was just talking about the bologna sandwiches. I know, right? Flashbacks. Let's continue on. We're only halfway through with this particular video right here, this portion here.
That is what he also asked me yesterday. I repeat, the embassy asked me, right? So let's see what. They are also going to play a role in this. Look at the situation. That is, they are people who were in transit, who have absolutely nothing here. They do not have the money to eat. That is why. Because everything they had was logically confiscated.
So they don't have the money to eat. And that's what their point is. That's why they haven't eaten in 24 hours. They don't even have the money to eat.
It was retained by the authorities who made the raid in the different places where they were. Then they are without any type of possession that allows them to buy the basics to be able to spend their daily lives.
Sure. Counsel, did these 3 detainees not give any statement about the fugitive pilot?
They were surprised. They were surprised about the pilot and the co-pilot. They were surprised by that situation, but they didn't give me any further details, did they?
Oscar, I said that a lot here. Why are they detained? And Erico Galliano was free for drug trafficking for so long, and a first and second conviction was expected. I want to know from the legal world, why that differentiation?
The thing is, we have to understand something. Preventive detention is not an advance in sentence. One does not have to take preventive detention as an advance in the sentence that can be obtained. Preventive detention is only removed to guarantee that the person is going to undergo the process. If I have the guarantees and I provide the guarantees and demonstrate that I am really not going to escape the process, then the law establishes that I have to continue my process in freedom. Here, we just get used to it and we believe that the normal thing is for the person to go to prison with preventive detention for the act they committed, but that is not normal.
But Oscar, it just happens that the one who can, the politician, the powerful, does not go and has to wait for a second sentence, and Yura Biscuit always goes, 70% of our prisons are with people.
And why is that happening? Because there is no way to guarantee submission to the process. What happens to these citizens, which is what I explained to them yesterday? They have no roots in the country, they have no resources in the country, they have no relatives in the country. So it is very difficult, that is. And the law in these cases provides that they have to keep preventive detention to prevent that they can escape or that they can avoid undergoing the process. But if I am a person who I am accused and I am subject to a process and I can guarantee that I can remain free and I am going to submit to the process and I am not going to escape. The law says measures must be granted to prison. But I repeat, what we want is that the normal thing is for a person to continue his private process, his freedom. That is the abnormal thing. And in this case, more than evident than them, and the judge explained to him yesterday, the conditions are not given for you to be able to go to a hotel. You don't even have an address here. That is impossible. No one is going to guarantee me that you are not going to escape. There is no guarantee.
Okay, I'm going to bring that back for you guys. I want to bring it back to about right here. I kind of laughed at when DJ said they have no bond. Based off of how he was saying it, in the normal circumstance, yes, a person was going to get a bond. But this is an abnormal situation. These people have no address here, no money for a hotel room here, no money for anything here. So even if we give them a bond, they don't even have money for food. They don't have money for a place to stay, for us to even put them on house arrest, if you will. And with them being foreigners, they're more likely to try to come up with a way to escape than to go through the proper procedures. So basically the attorney or the counselor, if you will, is saying we would give them a bond, but a bond to where? They don't have anywhere to live. They don't have any money. They aren't from here. How can we monitor their where they're going to be or where they're not going to be if they don't even have a place to be? So that's what makes them different from the average person that's arrested in their country. So that's why I brought that back for you guys to kind of like hear that again.
But they didn't give me any further details, did they?
Oscar, I said that a lot here. Why are they detained? And Erico Galliano was free for drug trafficking for so long, and a first and second conviction was expected. Thanks. I want to know from the legal world, why that differentiation?
The thing is, we have to understand something. Preventive detention is not an advance in sentence. One does not have to take preventive detention as an advance in the sentence that can be obtained. Preventive detention is only removed to guarantee that the person is going to undergo the process. If I have the guarantees and I provide the guarantees and demonstrate that I am really not going to escape the process, then the law establishes that I have to continue my process in freedom. Here we just get used to it and we believe that the normal thing is for the person to go to prison with preventive detention for the act they committed, but that is not normal.
But Oscar, it just happens that the one who can, the politician, the powerful, does not go and has to wait for a second sentence, and Yura Biscuit always goes, 70% of our prisons are with people.
And why is that happening? Because there is no way to guarantee submission to the process. What happens to these citizens, which is what I explained to them yesterday? They have no roots in the country, they have no resources in the country, they have no relatives in the country. So it is very difficult, that is. And the law in these cases provides that they have to keep preventive detention to prevent that they can escape or that they can avoid undergoing the process. But if I am a person who I am accused and I am subject to a process and I can guarantee that I can remain free and I am going to submit to the process and I am not going to escape. The law says measures must be granted to prison. But I repeat, what we want is that the normal thing is for a person to continue his private process, his freedom. That is the abnormal thing. And in this case, more than evident than them, and the judge explained to him yesterday, the conditions are not given for you to be able to go to a hotel. You don't even have an address here. That is impossible. No one is going to guarantee me that you are not going to escape. There is no guarantee that you can leave. So that stopped the process and prison was ordered, which is what corresponds. I am often against when prison is ordered and it is not appropriate. That is, if I am going to guarantee with sufficient assets, if I have roots in the country, if I am a well-known person, I am not going to escape. Getting fired is perfectly normal, isn't it? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who the person is, the politician, non-politician, businessman, non-businessman. In other words, the important thing is that this parameter is guaranteed so that precautionary measures are granted.
Oscar, can the state keep the East plane?
There you have to see what happens because it is proven that that was rented through. In other words, the plane does not belong to any of the people who are there. It is subject to the process. The plane was rented. I think it works, all the documentation. I think the public ministry has all the documents.
Do you know how pissed that I would be if I had some people rent my personal multi-million-dollar jet, fly it to another country, get my jet caught up in a drug scandal, and I can't get my jet back? Oh man, I'd be hotter than fish grease, bruh. And the pilots are back in the States just chilling. And these people haven't even eaten. Doing too much, girl. Doing too much. Yeah, this is a Netflix special. One of you guys said this earlier. But yeah, this is definitely a Netflix special.
Documentation. So I imagine that at any moment, the representatives of the aircraft are going to come to the country and they are going to ask for the release of said aircraft, right? In other words, what is the fault of the company that rented the plane for what the people who rented did? It's like I rented a vehicle, Benito Tomate. My vehicle reassures you and you are going to put a threat into it. That is me because I have to pay for it.
So that's the end of that interview right there. And that's the end of the montage of the Passport Sisters. He said, I will go 50-50 with Will and buy Dre's jet on federal auction. That's, hey, at an auction, that's a good deal. but since I won't be needing a jet anytime too soon, he said we would give Dre. He said we would give Dre discount flight. I'll be bringing all type of dogs around. Yeah, we got to sniff this plane, man. Somebody could have put something on your plane overnight that you didn't know about. Yeah, this one right here, this story got me shell shocked. He said they ain't got no soap, no nothing, bruh. No nothing. Just up in there in another country, just funky and sad, man. Like I said, I don't think she did anything. I don't think in this situation that she's guilty of anything. Sadly, the one brother from the video, her friend, who wants everybody to sign the petition, that ain't gonna help nothing. It might help get the word out about the story. If I was him, I'd focus so much on getting the word out about her story. I'll be talking to news outlets, other content creators to get the word out there. But the petition, how you gonna petition it to Paraguay? Those people don't care. And so based off of what they were saying, that with the bond, they don't care anything about the bond because they could leave. And we're gonna end it right there. I just wanted to say, man, that be careful out there. We men have been careful so far. Continue to be careful, man. Especially when it comes to the ladies. Ladies, I need you to be careful out there as well. White brothers and sisters, y'all need to act like y'all got some sense too. Stop getting locked up for stupid stuff. We're going to end this live stream a little early tonight. Shout out to you guys. I got to pick somebody up from the airport tomorrow, so I might be late if I do a live stream tomorrow. But at the end of the day, I'll be back here on Friday. And on Saturday, we do have our movies. I will be announcing our movies that we're going to be having. I'll be announcing those on Friday. Shout out to all you guys that were here. 313 says this. He say, but Dre, as a woman, why would you get on a private plane and you're the only? That's another thing. I didn't even think about that. Good call. Good call, Nate. I didn't even think about that. You're the only woman on a private plane full of strangers. They could have did anything to you while you was in the air. Bruh. Some of these women aren't thinking, man. You are so right. I didn't even think about that part. That should have been the first thing to come to my mind. You are a woman by yourself going to another country. No other women around. Nobody to gossip with, nobody to laugh with. Yeah, she earned that lockup. She earned that lockup. Yes, she did. I was about to sit back and say it wasn't her fault. She was kind of, wrong place, wrong time. No, she ignored too many red flags, bruh. Yeah, that's a good call. That's because she's strong and independent. Good call, Africa Wolf. Good call. Let me go ahead and let you gentlemen go with the outro video. Let's do the belly dancing again. Oh, my bad. I don't know what's going on with the videos, but I'm going to bring one back. Shout out to T-Mac with the $10 over on the Cash App going towards the funds for Venezuela. Let's try it one more time.